Yo, what is up? How you doing? Gotta fix my face real quick. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone's doing well. It is Saturday. And I am actually mostly awake for once. This is unprecedented. But yeah, welcome everyone. We've got some interesting music today. I found a new artist that I really like listening to his stuff, even though it's a little out there sometimes, as you might be able to tell with this song. But you know, it's all good. It's all good. Sorry. So today is Saturday, which means, you know, we're gonna sit here and talk about stuff, which is always fun. And the big reveal for today is I've got some 3D stuff to show off. It's been kind of a long time since I've had any new updates with that. And it's because it's been kind of put on the back burner, honestly, where I've been working on it, but everything else is kind of taken priority, like new videos and stuff like that. Even updating some of the stream stuff has taken priority over that. So it's unfortunately just kind of fallen to the wayside just a little bit, but it's back now. So yeah, let's pop over to that. I don't know if you're ready, because I'm not ready. Now, I did test this before stream, so if it's broken, I don't blame myself, because I literally tested this before stream. So kitten model is gonna have to disappear for a second. Boom. And ready for this? Okay, here we go. Yo. So the eyes are still a little bit messed up. I don't know why it's putting this like weird white, like I'm staring into a camera effect into it, but it is working. So, you know, we'll take what we can get. There we go. Okay. Fix the stuff a little bit. But yeah. So this is the 3D model with facial tracking, but more importantly, I should be able to add this to any new models that I want, which is awesome. So there's that. This does mean that we are going to return to focusing on 3D just a little bit. I think the primary focus of the videos is still going to be live 2D until I can get 3D up to a level that I feel my 2D stuff is at. So that's just kind of where we're at right now, you know. Not bad, but also just I really feel that my live 2D avatar and all of those shenanigans are just they're on a different level when you compare it to this. But adding this advanced facial tracking is kind of the first step, I feel, to making 3D as cool as 2D. The next step is getting a better model. Because I'll just be honest, I mean, you guys know me. I'm not exactly known for my artistic capabilities. So updating this model is not really on the cards as far as like making it into something awesome by myself. So, you know, we'll kind of see where it goes and what happens with it. But as for right now, I have started looking for a 3D modeler that I can afford and be like. So that's kind of where we're going with it. Other news, YouTube's been interesting this week. I mean, it always has. The first round of Nijisanji auditions has closed, and we have Nijisanji Wave 2 debuting tonight, which is kind of crazy. I didn't think that they would just go, you know, 1, 2, wim, bam, boom, you know, stuff like that. That was, that kind of caught me off guard, not gonna lie. Just a little bit. So I will definitely be watching the debut tonight because I'm really curious to see what kind of talent they picked up. If you compare Gen 1 to Gen 2, I think that's going to be very interesting to see. But more importantly, I'm very interested to see just where Nijisanji can go from here, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll kind of see where things go from here. But I think it'll be good. I'm really curious to see what the timeline is for their release of Wave 3 then. Because Wave 3, which is the one that they are currently advertising for, well, finished advertising for and have probably started looking over everyone's applications for, is really going to be telling of where Nijisanji as a group is going to go. I think that that's going to be very interesting to see. And so we'll have to see how everything does, you know. But I am looking forward to seeing what Nijisanji can do, especially now that hololive. Well, okay, so here's the question: is Iris of hololive, is she actually like Wave 2? Is she part of Wave 2? Is there going to be more Wave 2 of like the hololive singers? Is that going to be considered Generation 2? Because so far, I mean, you know, it's only been what, a week or something like that. So far, she seems to be doing the same stuff that the rest of hololive does, which isn't bad. It's not bad at all. I just kind of thought that like the singers group would be a little bit more performance heavy rather than just streaming heavy, but streaming does make super chat money, so I guess I shouldn't really comment too much about that, you know. Also, YouTube today is YouTube's being weird today. But what else is new? So yeah, that's Iris was an interesting debut. I loved the way that she debuted. That was probably some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen. Just the fact that they did such a long live stream to immediately herald people into a new video that was 30 seconds long is just, oh my gosh, it's just so hilarious. I can't believe they did that, but I'm so happy that they did, just because like it's the greatest troll. It's so good. And Iris's song was beautifully animated, and it was really good. It was really good. I hope we'll kind of see more stuff like that, you know. But I guess we'll see. Let's see what else can we talk about with that. Oh, There was a very interesting, hold on, let's pull it up. Let's pull up her design, shall we? Because there was a way that her like her face and stuff moved that was very interesting. I noticed that like Iris's model in particular had a very interesting style of movement and like facial tracking and things like that. I think hololive might be testing something new. Let's pull up Iris and put her on the screen, shall we? I mean, hololive can't get mad at us, right? We're too small for them to get mad at. All right, Iris. Debut stream. Okay, let's put her up on the screen. Perfect. Wait, why is it not showing up? Hello. There we go. So I really don't care about the rest of it. I just want to show off the look at how her model moves. It's different. I don't, it's hard for me to describe how it's different, but it is different in like a good way. The face definitely seems like more trackable from more angles. This is something I definitely noticed on especially Gargura's model, is that like the eyes and the mouth aren't particularly responsive, but Iris's, at least her mouth really is. Her eyes are kind of just like the same as everyone else's, which is, you know, that's fine or whatever. But her mouth definitely seems to have more shapes and things that it can do, which is cool. I'm excited to see what she'll do. I really want to know if her content is going to be a lot more music focused. I hope it is, because that just would make sense to me. You know, she's the hololive singer, right? And especially with hololive just barely doing their concerts, I feel like there's a lot of untapped talent. So I was actually thinking about this a lot the last few days, of what is like every VTuber's advantage, what is hololive's advantage, what is nijisanji's advantage, what is any other big VTubing group's advantage, right? And I think for me, the kind of answer that I came to is that Iris, or not Iris, but hololive in general, their big advantage is their production quality, and that was reaffirmed yesterday after their little concert that they did, because no one else is doing that. I mean, I guess there was that one other indie concert that kind of happened recently, but the point is that it was special enough and unique enough that like it was a reminder of like, oh yeah, that's why people follow hololive, you know? I mean, among other things, there's lots of reasons to follow hololive, but that was just the one that really was like, you know what? Yeah, that was really cool. So I hope that they do more stuff like that. I really hope that Iris ends up doing more stuff like that. More, maybe more songs, more things like that. But I think she's also, just given what we've seen from hololive, we're gonna see her doing a lot of the more streaming things. Hey, what's up, Sinon? How you doing? Welcome. I'm talking about what I hope to see hololive do in the future. While also showing off my fancy new advanced facial tracking with my model that I really need to update. Actually, let's make him bigger. Boom. We're hiding behind the desk just barely. I gotta fix those teeth sticking through though. That just looks creepy. But yeah, welcome, welcome. How you doing today? Man, my throat is a little scratchy. But what else is new? That seems to always be the case. So yeah, that's kind of hololive stuff. I think it's interesting. I really want to know when if Iris is the only one to come out, or if we're going to see more. I would really like to see more from hololive. Oh, hello, cat. What you doing, buddy? My kitten is demanding attention. I swear they always do this right as I start stream or start recording a video. That's when they're like, hey, it's time to pet me. Where'd you go, cat? 1 second. There we go. He was getting behind the computer and we can't have that. Meow. Here, come here. Let me see if I can get you to meow on camera. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Come here, buddy. No, Ian have another audition? Or was that for Iris? Yeah, they did. They did have another audition. That's why I'm curious to see when. Oh, I broke my model really bad. There we go. Are we back? Yeah, we're good. They did. So we will see when / if we get more hololive people in. I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to see for sure what like kind of the developments that are going to happen with hololive. I think their first lineup was such a superstar hit. It's going to be such a tough act to follow, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. I think they're just taking a lot of time with Wave 2 to see what, like, not Wave 2, but like another generation where of like, you know, 3-5 people, however many people, because they really can't afford to not be careful, you know. But I do think that the new Nijisanji waves is going to be putting a little bit of that pressure on, like just enough to maybe kick hololive into gear just a little bit faster. Because while Nijisanji and, you know, it wasn't the superstar hit that hololive was, it was still very successful. I believe all of the Lazulite group I think they're all sitting well above 100,000 at this point. I'm just checking up on that so I don't misquote my own numbers. Let's see here. 125, 121, 144. All of the new members of the Wave 2, which goes live tonight, they already have 25 to 30,000 subscribers each, which is kind of cool. I'm really curious to see how they're gonna do. I really am. Callie said once, kind of an offhand comment, the Gen 2 wouldn't be called Gen 2. Yeah, I know. They're not going to be called Gen 2, but everyone's going to call them Gen 2. I know that hololive is probably trying to avoid that naming scheme, but it doesn't matter if they're hollow stars, hollow something or other. Everyone's going to refer to them as Gen 2 of EN. Because I kind of wish that it wouldn't happen. I know I will inevitably end up doing it, but it just helps people remember, like, when they came out and what their relation to the timeline is. If I said Hollow Myth, like obviously everyone who's in the ENC knows that it's the current gen of Hololive. And then there's Iris, who I forget, does she have her own little specific name? Let's see. I don't think she does. I think she's just Iris. Yeah, okay. She is just Iris. Hololive English V singer. Yep. So she's just kind of her own little deal. Was she Project Hope? Hold on. I have to... Let me reopen her debut stream real quick. The hashtags are usually where they put this kind of stuff. Okay, yeah. Project Hope. So that's actually the only time they've ever used Project Hope, which I feel like all of the other portions of Hololive continue to use Hollow Myth. So maybe she's part of Project Hope. I like I was kind of saying earlier, I really want to see what she's going to end up doing in the long run, because it's right now, like she had her debut song, which was awesome. Not taking that away from her. Like that was a beautifully animated. She's definitely a great singer. But then she immediately went to just streaming like everyone else on Hololive. And I say just streaming, I mean, obviously they are very successful. I don't mean to take away from that. But I am a little surprised, because at least in my own mind, I thought that V-Singer, like the V-Singer group, was going to be a little bit different than regular Hololive. I thought that they were going to be definitely more of like the YouTube like concerts like they just did yesterday, or other promotional material, things like that. I genuinely thought that they were going to be a little bit different. And you know, again, it's been 1 week, so no judgment calls yet, right? But the fact that she has started streaming so much is interesting. Well, we'll see how she does. I mean, she's already on track. She's already at 500,000, which is crazy. So she's doing good. 500,000 in a week. I forget how long did it take Gura to get to 1 million? It wasn't very long. Was it a month? Nah, it wasn't a month, was it? 240. Oh, no, okay. I stand corrected. It was a little over a month. It was 1 month and like 3 weeks. 2.5 weeks-ish. Okay, so though I will note that Iris so far, keep in mind, keyword being so far, on the same trajectory as Gura. We will see if that stays true. I think the only way that will stay true is if she starts putting out some amazingly original content, like with more songs or things like that. Because Gura's kind of hard to to beat right now. Out of all of Hololive, I feel like Gura just has the streaming thing on lockdown. Kelly's got her music. I mean, all of them have their music pieces now. I'm in love with Kiara's new song. I think that's my favorite of the Hololive songs so far. YouTube subscriber count speedrun. Seriously though. But well, we'll see how her numbers kind of do as she goes on. Or my gut feeling is that she's going to experience the Hololive slump that basically every Hololive member did. and they've started to go back on the up curve, but their first debut month is always spectacular, like hilariously awesome. I'll just pop open the web page again, because this is it's a good visual representation instead of me just saying things. Boom. That is not okay. Let's boom. So this happens to be Gura's channel, right? As you can see, the first month is always awesome, and then it slopes down. And most of the hololive members actually look like this, by the way. So this is nothing to be concerned about. But they have a super awesome, amazing first month, and then they go down, and then they continue to go down. And then like 5-6 months later, they start to rise back up. This actually seems to be a pretty common trend with VTubing in general, with how much work people put into their debuts. Is like you come out of the gate swinging, and generally your first piece of content is just so awesome. Like people put so much effort into their debuts, or hololive does their marketing, or you know, all this other stuff happens to make the first time you go live awesome. And then, you know, you slowly bleed out viewers until you really get into the swing of things, till you figure out what it is that makes you awesome, and then you pick yourself back up. And now Gura, I wouldn't be surprised if this month Gura does better than she did at her debut, which is awesome. So I hope that Iris follows a similar trend. I'm so glad you didn't miss this. I love your content. You're so inspiring. Hey, thanks. I don't think I'm that inspiring, but I appreciate the kind words. But yeah. Welcome, Linda. But yeah, so that's kind of what I see for hololive. I really want to know if Iris is just one, or if there's more of her. I really want to see more of her. So, or more singers, right? I would love an idol group from hololive that is mostly focused on singing. I think that would be sick. That would be so cool. Plus, then we'd get a lot of interesting new songs, and I'm all about that. So, there's that. Though, speaking of YouTube shenanigans, because you know we're on YouTube, I did some very interesting analytical work this last week. I mean, anyone who's been here for a while knows that I basically eat, sleep, and breathe analytics. That's how I do everything. I'm a numbers guy. You know, that's just kind of how I am. But doing like a deep dive into analytics is super interesting because normally I do like the last month just to kind of see like what worked, what I need to change, like what I should try, you know, just little stuff like that. I think everyone should do that. You know, set aside an hour or two just to be like, all right, what worked this month? What can I do better? What do I need to do to go forward, kind of a thing. But this last week I decided, you know what, let's look at everything that's happened since the channel started. And that's always fun to do, because it's like, oh, this was my Phasmophobia phase. Oh God, this was my Minecraft phase. This was some terrible comedy videos that no one liked phase. Oh gosh, it was interesting. Hololive pulling an nijisanji and keeping more streamers hidden from the previous audition to release out of nowhere. Seriously, where did they pull Obsidia from? They just pulled them from the first audition. I think they just, I mean, so here's the thing about the nijisanji auditions, right? I think that while they didn't get as many applicants as hololive, they got tons. And since Nijisanji's standards for streaming is so much lower. And this isn't to call any of the Nijisanji streamers bad or not good at streaming, but they're quite clearly not looking for the same talent level that hololive is. Like, everyone that hololive hires is like, they have exceptional talents. Let's just be real. Everyone that hololive even looks at can do a lot of stuff very awesome. Nijisanji is more like the family friend kind of streamer guy. What are you doing, cat? So they can kind of just, they're willing to take on more new people. And hololive is looking for something specific they already have. Nijisanji is looking for something that can be nurtured. That's a pretty good way of saying it. And also, let's see, Nijisanji's second audition image had a hint it actually being for group 3 or something. It's on the Reddit. Well, I actually don't think that there's going to be another one after Obsidia, because the current auditions for Nijisanji, the image that they used for the female streamer specifically was titled Wave 3. So I don't think we're going to see another wave, but I wouldn't be upset. But kind of like what I was saying, I feel like Nijisanji is willing to accept anyone, and anyone who at least has a passing skill at streaming. I do think they're looking for specific-ish type of people. I mean, if you look at all of Lazulite and all of Obsidia, there is a pretty clear theme of what they were going for. So they were definitely looking for specifics here. But I do think that they're much more willing to bring in a lower level of talent that they could elevate. So, do I watch anime? Yes, I do. So yeah, that's kind of what I feel about Nijisanji right now. I really want to know what this new group is going to do and how they're going to perform compared to Wave 1. That's why you gravitate towards Nijisanji more. Yeah, I think that's why Nijisanji can exist. I also think that's why hololive can exist, right? Because Nijisanji is the group that you watch for shenanigans, like a lot of shenanigans. And because you never know what you're getting with Nijisanji, which is good and bad, you know? Like, Nijisanji's gonna, I mean, for crying out loud, they had a BDSM stream. Like, can you ever see hololive doing that? Like that, I didn't believe it when one of my friends linked me to that, and I was like, wow, that is a Nijisanji streamer doing BDSM roleplay on stream. And yeah, and Finana's egg, let's not forget about Finana's egg. That was, I'll admit, I wasn't expecting that one either. But then and so like that definitely has its appeal. That super has its appeal. But then you compare that to hololive, right? Who is that very much idol facing group, like super idol. And that also has a very big appeal. Like, I know I brought it up at least 4 times today, but the concert that they put on yesterday was amazing. Like, that's not something Nijisanji's ever gonna do. At least not right, not unless they change something about how they operate. But it was so cool. It was so cool to watch. And that's the kind of hololive stuff that I really enjoy, because I don't actually watch a whole lot of the individual hololive members, not very often at least. But I'll pop into the Nijisanji members, probably just because there's so many of them that there's more likely to be someone that I can jive with. And so I've become a bigger fan of Nijisanji than I was in the past. I never disliked them or anything, but I always kind of thought of them as the ragtag group. And then I had a friend who's really passionate about Nijisanji, kind of pull me in a little bit deeper and show me a little bit more. And that's when, you know, that's when I started to kind of get it more. And so I have a much higher opinion of Nijisanji than I used to. And I think that for anyone who wants to like get into a VTubing group per se, Nijisanji is definitely the way to go. I feel like they're just more approachable and they are just there to have fun and hopefully make money in the process for everyone involved. You know? And I don't know, it's just good. It's just good. And that's kind of why I actually made so many Nijisanji videos recently, is because of my sort of newfound respect, I guess, for Nijisanji. That and a buddy of mine, we did that collab together for him. So out of the two, like if I had to pick one, I would definitely go for Nijisanji. That's actually why in the past I did apply for the first wave of Nijisanji, but not hololive, because at the time when I was streaming as much as I did feel like Nijisanji was the group that I would work with, like that I could enjoy working with, you know? And so that's why I applied back then. I'm not applying this time around just because, I mean, as you guys know, I don't really stream that much anymore. I just do videos. Why, hello Vespa, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. This is the new facial tracking model that I've been working on. The eyes are still messed up. They have like some weird glowy effect in the middle of them. But how did I feel about the audition process? I actually felt that actually, hold on. Before I answer that question, you guys want to see what weird shenanigans is going on with the eyes? Like, look at what's going on with the eyes. It's like squiggly lines in there. I have no idea why it's doing that. It's kind of annoying. Like, look at that. Just stare into my squiggly eyes. Hold on, can I zoom in even more? There we go. Stare into my eyes. Like, you see how they just have like that weird radius line? Yeah, the mouth, it took a lot of work. So did the rest of the face. I mean, I can do stuff like puffing up my cheeks. I still need to add bones to the rest of my body, because right now it kind of looks okay, but I could definitely make it better. Looks like Rick and Morty. It kind of does, actually. I did not make the eyes this way. I just don't know why they rendered this way. I didn't mean to, but well, what's funny is if I use the other program that I have, for some reason, the same model has the correct eyes. Like, I didn't change anything. It's just a different program loads it differently, I guess. So, but it's not nearly as responsive as this one. So, okay. So let's go back to that question. How did Denny? The second part of the video, the streaming characters, that means stream is the character you created. Yes, I actually made a video answering those questions. Denny. But on Nijisanji themselves clarified with a tweet after the original audition videos that you want to stream as the character. You need to make a character and stream as it. That I actually have a picture. I have the screen capped picture here. because I save all the assets I make for videos. I have the actual picture here, probably, if I can find it. Oh gosh, there's so many nijisanjis. Oh, yep, found it. Let's go. Okay, we're gonna pop the kidda. Oh wait, that's that. We're gonna go here. Don't mind those model names. Work in progress. Need to send your video. Boom. There you go. There you go, Denny. That is Nijisanji themselves answering that question. Let's see. The second part of the video, like an example of if you got the job, what stream. Yeah. So the best way that I could describe it is you should make the video, in my opinion, like a highlights kind of reel of what it would be like if you were actually streaming. Now, this is obviously easier if you have streamed. Do you know what? Do you know what, guys? I'm gonna pull back the curtain a little bit here. Okay. Do you guys want to see my original debut, or not my original audition video? Part of it. I'm not going to show all of it because I was an idiot and included my real name and stuff in it, so I can't show you all of it. But I can show you what I kind of did, which I don't know if I would do the same thing again, but it was okay. This is what I did for the video way back when the buffalo roamed and the deer and the antelope played. And I tried to apply. So give me 1 second to pull this up. I have to make sure that I'm not giving away. So I went over some stuff. Okay, so some of this stuff is really dumb that I did. If I remade my video today, I would not do half of what I did. Let's see, where is secret video? Wait, when was this? This was back in, found it. Okay. So this is secret video. Is this unlisted or private? This should be private because no one should see this ever. Done. Okay, we did that. Hey, thanks for the subscription. I appreciate it. Let me okay, I'm gonna mute the audio for just a second. And so I can skip past the personal info stuff. You guys can still hear me talk, you just can't hear this. Man, oh my God. I'm hurting myself watching this. Okay. I said I'd show it off. Oh my gosh. So I'm listening to it myself and it's just okay. All right. We're doing this. I can't believe I'm going to show this on screen. Oh gosh. All right. Are you ready for this? So this is, this is something else. So here is, oops, that's me. Let's throw this up above everyone else real quick. Okay, hold on. What did I miss in chat? I can't be the one who searched up old auditions. I did too. Guilty as charged. I actually teamed with a friend who wanted to go for the Ghost of Darkness character in the audition, but she got sick and couldn't upload her audition. Oh, that's unfortunate. Hey, what's up, me on air? How you doing? I'm showing off the original Nijisanji audition video. So this is the original video that I made, skipping past some of the other stuff. So first off, we're going to critique my own video here. I am a minute into the video and I am still introducing myself. Don't do this. This is bad. I'm over a minute into a video where I'm supposed to be showing off my stream and I'm still introducing myself. Don't do this. This was a bad idea. Abort, abort. Don't do it. 4 views. How many of those were yours? All 4 of them. Nijisanji never even looked at this video. So, you know, take that as you will. Oh, let's can I do this? Oh, what? Where'd it go? Hold on. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna play this and you're gonna see what I did. Like I said, I would not do it this way. We're gonna have a little self-critique of my old audition video. It's great. So I guess to get to this point, I'll explain what's in the minute that I don't want to show you because it's got a whole bunch of personal information in it, which again, don't do that. That's a bad idea too. But I kind of did a whole bunch of self PR where I was like, yeah, this is how much I've grown as a streamer in the last 4 months, 5 months. I can't remember how many months it had been at this point in time. This is what I do every day. This is kind of how I evolve my content. This is blah, 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 blah. And that's not what they don't care. You can write that in the written portion. Don't show that in the video. They'll, cause like anything that's like brag worthy, put it in the written portion because that'll get them interested enough to actually watch your video. Hikaru, who is my buddy, who did a Nijisanji video as well, made that a very strong point of they care far more about, like, you should, if you could only focus on one thing, focus on your written portion as much as you can, because that's what's going to make them even look at your video. It doesn't matter if you have the best video that's ever been made. If they don't like your written portion, they're just not even going to look at it. They've got way too many applications. Not gonna lie, reading the second part about your other media and subscribers and followers made my confidence drop a little bit. Yeah. I mean, let's just be honest with ourselves and say that if you're a bigger streamer who applies, you have a better chance of getting in. And the fact that they ask for those numbers kind of just proves that. It just kind of is what it is. You have to recognize that you're swinging uphill. Yeah. You brought this up in your video. Don't tell them, show them. I didn't, like I said, this is, when was this from? December 14th? Yeah, December 14th. So this is 7 months ago. I was a young Rayless. I was a video novice back then. I mean, I still am, but just look at the background that I got going there. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyways, I'm going to play the video. I'm going to disappear for a second. I will show you what I did. Hey, what's up, Mega Elites? Hey, just bye, what's up? I'm showing off my original Nijisanji video. This is the original application video. Given the requirements to work with nijisanji, I believe that I am a good candidate, and I'll leave the rest of the video to showcase some of what I believe are my better moments on stream. This is my compilation. By the way, I love my stream count. This was my original stream intro. By the way, way too long of a clip. This was a Twitter video that I did. Probably wouldn't include this again. I had fun making this though. Again in 3D. This is actually where one of my longest time viewers came from, is this marathon stream of Fall Guys. This was a compilation of a 12-hour Among Us stream. Which, by the way, to my knowledge, I'm still the only person who has played 100 games of Among Us in a single day. So, a few weeks ago, I tried to play. Oh, I wouldn't have included this video. Oh, this is a bad video. Somehow, that still took me almost 10 hours to do. With season 3, I had a whole phase where I was like trying to do 100 games of something in a day. This is actually a video that is now hidden on my channel. This is another Twitter video. All of these things they're not bad by themselves, but I would not have included any of these. Again. Oh gosh. I'm actually cringing a little watching this. Yeah, I did. This is back when I had to use a replacement model because I accidentally deleted my original. We did it! We did it! I was learning Celeste speedrunning. Like, this is something that would be kind of okay to include. That's the clip! Because this was done on stream. Oh my gosh. So like this is something that would be okay. Let's go. Maybe not quite this long of a stream or cut though. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is actually painful to watch. Freaking did it. Why did I do this? Whew. God. All right, we can go back to playing the game now. I gotta be careful. I think I give away something at the end. Oh. This is a good clip. It's so hard to control. Oh, we're not hitting this jump right. Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, God. Okay, let's do the actual norm. Hold on. I can line this. Why don't I have ice cubes? This is another good clip. I might come back to this someday. Oh, okay. All right. I had a heart rate monitor and everything hooked up for that. I hope these clips did a good job of. Yeah, shut up, me. Bad. Don't do that. Don't give an outro. God damn it. Oh, okay. I didn't think. Oh man, I would not have done the video that way. Oh my gosh. Okay, so out of that whole montage, like, yeah, the cringe is there. Okay, let's get some freaking music back on. Oh gosh. Okay, so out of that whole montage, I was kind of dying. Okay, so let's go ahead and critique this. First of all, this, no. This video of me dancing, again, this was shot as a stream intro, which is actually also a private video on the channel now. It's interesting, but it doesn't really showcase any of my personality. Oh, well, I guess it kind of does. Like, it shows that I'm willing to do weird stuff on stream, I guess. But even if I wanted to include something like this, I would have. How long is this clip? 123 to 140. That's a 20-second clip. Like maybe like at least half that. Like, you know, maybe like 7 to 10 seconds of that. That's all you need. That gets the point across. Let's see. Next clip was this. I would have not included this if I'd been thinking, because this is kind of like this is the same as the other clip. It's just me dancing in 3D. Like it doesn't really present new information. I'm just in a different model. So I would have cut this easy. I would have cut this. This is just a compilation. There's nothing going on here. I would have definitely cut this. This is a fully recorded, edited video of me just analyzing Fall Guys, which is, there's a reason why it's one of my worst videos I've ever done. We'll just put it that way. Would have cut that. Would have cut this. This portion, the Celeste portion, this is okay. But I would have cut this down significantly. Like, because again, this is one that's like, so 307 to, oh my gosh. Yeah, that was like a 40-second clip. Don't do that. No. Bad. Don't do that. don't do that. Oh gosh. So that's an okay clip, but definitely cut that down. Next up is this. These are good clips. And these were like, here, let's just.
So, oh, she's no.
Yeah, so these are pretty quick. This is okay. Because this already had, this is again from another edited video where it already was a compilation of clips and I just kind of threw it in there. But as you can tell, those two clips was like 10 seconds each, maybe. This one was a good one. Me having the Satan's Blood hot sauce, that's another good example of something I would include, because that's like a funny thing, and that's okay if it's a little bit more drawn out. So this one was okay. So that means out of the 4 minutes of content that I put in there, so we would have had 10 seconds here, cut out this one, cut out this one, cut out this one, cut out this one, maybe, you know, a 10-second clip here, 15-second maybe. So we're at 25 seconds. Then we have the VR clips, which is about another 20 seconds. So we're at 45 seconds. And then maybe like a 15 to 20 second of this. Out of the 4 minutes that I used, I could have cut that crap down to 1 minute and it would have been way better. And like, but that's how all of your minutes should be, is to cut all of the junk out and just make it as tight as you can. The big text is all, yeah, there's a lot of things I wouldn't do. There's a lot of stuff. By the way, this was how my stream setup looked back then. That was a different time in my life. That's for sure. But so yeah, there's just a whole bunch of stuff that I wouldn't do again. So that kind of gives you an idea of like where my own tips are coming from, because I can look back at what I did and just be like, no, this was terrible. This was bad. What I did in character was describe what your character's good at and then followed up with a clip of a game in which I do that thing in character. That is an excellent way of doing things, because that's you saying it and then immediately showing it, which is good. That just proves your point. I'm fully on board with that style of video. But But yeah, that's just oof. If I was to remake that video today, I would have a lot more clips that I would use that are intentionally very short. Like, you know, let's just slap one of the ones on here. Like, I would have a bunch more stuff like this. Let me pull one up. Oh wow, I might actually have to go digging for a while. Okay, maybe. All right, I moved them off this channel. Okay, so maybe they're not on here anymore. But no regret, only lessons learned. For example, a human character says get hunted and then show gameplay of clip of hunting something. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, and I don't regret making that video, right? So I have to drink some water real quick. Ah, much better. No, I don't regret applying or making that video, even though it's super cringe. To me, at least. And I think to everyone here who just saw it, like, I think we can all agree that that video is not very good. It's just not. Like, it's definitely something that someone who's just starting out would be like, yeah, this is a great video. And then, you know, 3 months down the line, you're like, wait a second. That's what I submitted? No wonder I didn't get in, you know? But that's the important thing, right? Is like, I'm just going to be real with everyone here. You know, if your first major piece of content is your audition video to get into Nijisanji, you're probably not getting in because you just don't know what you're doing. And that's not a bad thing. It's just, you know, now that you've made that thing, you need to go make something else, and then something else, and then something else. And if getting into Nijisanji is your ultimate goal, and you keep pressing away at it and like improving, you'll probably eventually get there. But the reality of this situation is you also have to accept that, you know, you're not always that good at everything. I know I'm not, you know. It's difficult to see what's wrong because you're the only one looking at it. And you also just don't know what to look for yet, right? Like, I don't think I'm a great editor. I think I'm passable at best. Like, if we were gonna go like novice, like a someone who's like has a little bit of training, someone who's really good at it, someone who's excellent at it, and someone who's a master at it, like I'm still between the novice and trained portion. Like, I think that my videos are as good as I could make them right now. But I'm always trying to make them better, right? Like, that's really the important thing is you can't compare yourself to anyone else, because it doesn't matter if your video isn't as good as, you know, something that, like, I don't know, Markiplier could make, right? Because you couldn't make that video anyways. Like, you just don't have the skills or the team or anything, right? And so when making content like this and applying for things, and I actually have a video all about that, by the way, called, I made it for the hololive editions. I might actually remake it for Nijisanji editions as well, because I have some updated thoughts. But the whole video is about, like, okay, the auditions are over, now what do you do? Like, well, you go back to making content. Like, if you wanted your job to be working for Nijisanji or hololive, go do that, you know? Go stream, go make stuff. Like, if that's what you wanted your job to be anyways, that's what you should be doing. And yeah, you might not get in this time, but if the next time comes around, which it did, you know, with these auditions, if you had been making stuff for the last 7 months, like I have been, you know, if I was going to apply to Nijisanji this time around, I would be in a immensely better position to do that. And I'm confident that if I really thought that I wanted to work for Nijisanji, which I don't, not anymore, then I could make a significantly better video. And that's really all it comes down to, is you got to keep plowing ahead. You got to keep making stuff. Experience is never something you can get from watching someone else. You have to do it. I didn't realize how, like, you know, a great example is actually, I know I'm self-centered. I talk about myself all the time, but for me, my own example is I thought that making tutorial videos was going to be boring as hell. No one was going to watch them, and I wasn't even going to be that good at it. But I saw a need, and so I was like, you know what? Let's try it. Let's do it. And I was right. I didn't really like it. I wasn't that good at it, and people didn't really watch it. But after I did it like once or twice, I'm like, wait a second, do I actually enjoy doing this? And I was like, wait, I kind of do. And then that helped me get better and better at it. And I since I actually took the time to try and make the thing that I thought would be good, and I found out that I liked it, and I'd like to think I'm okay at it. I'm definitely not the best, but you know, I feel like I'm passable. And I keep getting better. And like, that's the same thing I view about people with streaming, especially those that want to get into nijisanji. It's like, you would not believe the number of people who ask me, like, can I get into nijisanji if I've never streamed before? That was legitimately one of the most common questions I was asked. Like, yeah, you could, but you're probably not going to. Like, maybe if you're like a big YouTuber and all you've done is videos and you want to get into streaming, maybe. But like, you gotta start, like you're saying, you gotta start from somewhere. Like, if you want to jump into the big old streaming world, you gotta jump in. You gotta do it. You can't just expect that nijisanji's just gonna work out, especially if you've never streamed before. Right? Like, you gotta get into it. You gotta do it. I don't know. That was kind of rambling. It's just, I like to try and tell people things the most honest version of the way I see things. Because even if I like say something accidentally wrong that I didn't mean, I can clarify it, and it's usually pretty close to what I actually meant. I just gotta say things the way that I see them. And I hope that everyone, yeah, or the skills you have to show off, that's something that I think people are really sleeping on. Because let's be honest here. Skills as a streamer can mean so many different things. I don't think I have a lot of skill as a streamer, because I don't really have a whole lot of other talents other than my own personal experience and the YouTube videos that I've made that kind of I can talk about. But I think people have a lot of skills that are really interesting to show off that they just don't, because they're worried about people like not liking, you know? And so, like, especially if you can sing at all, like, I am of the firm belief that most people with practice can make, you know, a song of their choice sound pretty decent. Not like I'm a superstar singer level quality, but you don't need to be that, right? Like, anyone who really practices something can be pretty decent at it. And singing, I really think, at least for hololive and nijisanji, as has been proven, by the way, is probably the most sought after skill. If you're good at singing, you better show that off, because that's going to boost you in their ratings real quick. Hey, what's up, Ricardo? Welcome. How you doing? But even other skills, like if you can play an instrument or the piano or something, like do that. You're pretty good. And me, I'm doing okay. I'm, you know, a little tired as usual, but you know, we're having fun. We're showing off the 3D model, all that fun stuff. We're going to be working on another 3D model here in a little bit, hopefully. I usually think what I can show off, but can't think of one. You know, this is another, this one would be a little bit hard to make more natural, I guess. But like, if you could figure out a comedy routine type thing to add into your video, like during a stream, it doesn't matter if it's scripted, right? Like just try and make it seem natural and that you're funny, I guess. I think that's something that people are sleeping on a little bit. But I don't know. I would love to do an interview with Nijisanji and just be like, hey, what are you actually looking for? Like this would be so nice to just be able to say everyone like, this is what you want. I mean, they're not going to do that, right? That would be cool, but they're not going to do that. They'll instead post their little clarifications and tweets, and the members themselves will tell you what they did. But you know, I do think though that Nijisanji does tell you what they want. They just don't tell it to you directly. Like the female character models is a great example. I didn't notice this the first time. Like the last Nijisanji video that I made are like, hold on. I have a picture for this too. Let's see. So, you know, there's, you know, this tweet, right? Where they're like, hey, what's up, Shiro S? Welcome, welcome. How you doing? We're talking about Nijisanji. How you doing? So yeah, there's this tweet by Nijisanji that clarifies like that they want you to do it in character. But then there's also this sneaky little bit that they added. Wait, oh, no, wait, where did I put it? This one? No, that's not it. You just woke up. Hey, me too, like an hour and a half ago. This one? No. Hold on. I have a picture of this somewhere. Where did I put it? Okay, we're gonna do this the most ghetto way I can think of. But because I know I show it in my video. So we're gonna open up the video, we're gonna freeze frame it on that point. This is how I think Nijisanji likes to clarify their stuff. And it's kind of infuriating, but you know what? It is what it is. Nijisanji can do whatever they want. They're Nijisanji. So, got it. Wow, I clicked on the screen and I went right to it. I'm amazing. So this is how they clarify things. Ready? You see that little line? The auditions are based on partial pre-release characters. Applicants should select a character to audition for from the pre-partial release characters. That's not on their Twitter post. That's only on their website. Like, that is the very first thing that they say about the female auditions is pick one of the models. But they don't say that on Twitter. Instead, and even on the form itself, they're like, here's a list of 4 that you should pick from, or you can add one. It's like, but on your website, Nijisanji, you say pick one of the 4, don't add a new one. Like, come on, don't do this. You know? So it's stuff like that where I wish they would just be a little bit more upfront. So it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like. Someone actually commented on that. The male one, I don't think the male one has any yeah, I'm pretty sure that the male one doesn't have any restrictions because they don't have a picture or anything. I'm just looking it up right now. Okay, yep. The Nijisanji EN is also opening auditions for male characters without pre-release of character design. So they specifically don't have one. So you can do whatever you want. Yep. So, it does just feel like, and Hikaru made a really good point of this in his video, which I reiterated in one of mine. Is just like, I only found this because I researched this for my last video, because I missed this the first time around. I didn't notice that. I had assumed it, and I had stated that that's what I thought they were looking for, but I didn't look to confirm it until this most recent video. So it just goes to show, like, do your homework, you know, look up who you might be working for. I feel really bad because I wonder, like, how many people applied with their own original characters who might be good. And I'm not going to say that Nijisanji wouldn't take you if you had your own original character that was like amazing and you did really well in the written and video audition. They'd still probably make you play one of those characters, you know. But I do wonder how many people will be disqualified. I did check the audition form when I made my video, Hikaru. I don't think I can access it anymore. Can you? No. Okay. You can't. I did check the form when I made the video. It wasn't listed on there. I really thought that they would have put that on there. They do that because they're looking for creativity. I would think so. I think they leave it open as, like, again, because I'll just be honest. I think if you are a great streamer, you have a great video, you have a great written portion, and you didn't use one of their characters, they'd still probably consider you if you were actually that good with your own character, right? Like, they would still consider you. Shout out to the deep voice guy who did the audition as a cowgirl playing Minecraft. Oh, that's awesome. That's funny. I haven't seen that. I need to look that up. That's hilarious. That sounds hilarious. Oh gosh. Sounds so funny. That's so funny. Wow. Is the second form you locked? Is the second form locked until you posted the link? Oh, I can post the link for the male auditions. No. So that portion of it is on their main website. Second form locked until you post the link. Oh yeah, the written form is locked. Well, it's locked, quote unquote. But like, you can just put in a link to any YouTube channel just to see what the second, like, to see what all the questions are and stuff. So like, you can just look it up and look through all the questions so you know what you're going to be answering. Like, you can just do that. That's actually what I did to look at all the questions when I made my video. Is I just put in dummy answers to see what all the questions were and stuff like that. So I could make a video that was actually about the auditions, you know. Second video, if you look up Nijisanji audition on YouTube. I will have to look that up later. Nijisan, is it really the second? Oh, it's that guy. Oh, never mind. Okay, I have seen that guy. I have seen that guy. My that like blanked out of my video, or blanked out of my mind for a second there. That's funny. Yeah, I remember that guy. I remember that guy. Yeah, 14 spins. For some reason, like, I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Like, I couldn't. It is what it is, I guess. I don't know. It's a thing. But I really am excited to see what is going to happen with the auditions, or specifically the male auditions, because I mean we know what's coming with the female audition stuff now, and I really want to see what's going to happen with I want to see what's going to happen with male auditions, like what, because Hikaru and I have talked about this at length of what they look for in their female auditions. They're all kind of like the high voice, cutesy, like stereotypical. It sounds so bad for me to just say it out loud, but like they want like the cutesy voice, anime waifu type sound. That seems to be their main criteria. They want that cutesy voice. Well, yeah, pure aside, but like if you listen to all of the, yeah, they want that anime voice. That's what they want. And so I want to know what they're going for with the male VTubers, because some of them, I've noticed a little bit of a trend with the male VTubers as well. They want like that more. Now, Hikaru can correct me if I'm wrong, because he knows way more about Nijisanji than I do. But like from all the male VTubers I've seen for Nijisanji, they have that like lower, like soothing type register voice. That seems to be what I've noticed. They don't seem to have like a lot of super big range of different stuff like that. So I don't know. I just don't know what they're going to be. Confidence is the best pitch. I agree. Confidence is key. I feel like no matter who you are, if you sound like you know what you're doing, people think that you know what you're doing. That's important. So, not right now, Hikaru. They got me too excited for the males too. I'm really excited to see. I mean, I'm gonna be watching the debut tonight for Obsidia. I'm really excited to see what they can do. But I just want to see the male VTuber portion, because I think it's going to be very different, and I think that's what Nijisanji needs, and especially if they can get that out before like the next wave of hololive comes out or anything like that. I think that'll be huge, just because it gives that width and breadth of content that is kind of missing right now. Honestly, none of the big VTubing agencies have guys, and it's not like, now I'm treading a little carefully, just because I love watching the Twitter wars, where I feel like a lot of male VTubers complain that it's a female dominated space, which it is, but that's not really a problem. It's just, what boils down to me is like, if the reason why male VTubers aren't popular, it's because they're not good enough to be popular. And that's a hard pill to swallow. Like, that applies to me, or to simp for. Yeah, I mean, there are some, but there's also a lot of like, no, I'm not saying that there aren't any, Hikaru, but if you're going to balance the scales here, there are a lot more popular female VTubers than there are male VTubers. There's also just a lot more female VTubers, just in general. So it's just part of the statistics. It's actually funny, because there was a guy who came in here, what was it, like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, maybe even 5 months ago now. I remember him like very vividly because he really tried to argue with me about this. He wanted me to agree with him that there is a bias against male VTubers. And I don't think that there is. I just think that, like, anything that is a visual style space, you are going to, I'm trying to pick my words very carefully here. Hold on, let's rewind. Let's rewind a little bit. If someone says VTuber, then what do you think of? Hey, what's up, Kitsune, Katie? This is actually not a new model. It's just a model that has a face tracking. You can also capitalize on the fact that there's not a saturation of males. Women don't shrimp like men do. That's true. That is very true. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I think it's just different. I think that still looking fly. Thanks. I need to fix this one. The eyes really bother me. I gotta fix that. And I know how to fix it. I just haven't done it. But getting this to work with VC face was the first priority. And now that it is, it's awesome. But yeah, just the, if someone says VTuber, you think of hololive. Like, that's not a bad thing. It's just like, if someone who is a casual observer of VTubers thinks about VTubing, they will think of hololive or VShojo. That is just what's gonna happen, because they are the kings, well, queens, I guess, of VTubing. Like, they just are. And like, you got Kuzaha, who's up there. Like, I think he's the most successful nijisanji streamer, right? Like, he is the #1 nijisanji. Oh yeah, there's also Vom's project. That's true too. But the point is that, like, and Kizuna, yeah, Kizuna AI and Project Melody, you know, there's basically every big VTuber that you think of is not a guy. Just isn't. Like, you have some who are using VTuber avatars now, like Nux Taku, who is relatively big. Like, I mean, he's, what is he now? He's like 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube. Like, he's kind of a big deal. And then there's other people who have done it, but there's no one else who really sticks with it that's like super big. Hello, Gianni Capote. Oh wait, you've been here before. I remember your name. Welcome. Yeah, you need another question to get Melody as the first thought. No, it's true. Well, like, that's the point. Nux content is not norm. It's true. His main has 2.3. I love Nux. He's so good. But that's kind of the point I'm getting at. Is like, there's not a lot of guys whose primary content is VTubing. And so that's just not what you think about. And that's why, in my opinion, I think that VTubing is biased towards the cutesy anime waifu rather than the regular dude. Like, that's just how it is. And I'm not upset by that. Thanks. I love it. Why, thank you, Linda. I appreciate it. But it's just, I like thinking about things in like realistic terms of, because, you know, spoiler alert. Hold on. I can actually, can I show you? Do I still have this model? Give me a second. I want to see something. Is this one still here? Oh yeah. Yeah, it's still here. I tried that for a while. Ta-da! Oh wait, is this model broken? Oh, this one's broken. I used this model for a little bit while my original one was broken. We're gonna go back to this one because this one actually works. There we go. I admit I tried it for a little bit, you know, all cards are on the table. I tried it. I wasn't comfortable with it. It lasted like 3-4 days, 5 days, maybe something like that. It did not last a very long time. But I don't know. I just kind of accepted the niche that I fit into, because I'm not trying to compete with the cutesy anime waifu VTubers anymore. I'm just not. My content's very much about teaching people how to do stuff, and you know, just being chill and doing this kind of a thing. And I'm very happy doing this kind of thing, actually. I really enjoy it. And so that's kind of anime dad's work too. It's true. It's true. I just think that people need to be more open to what like VTubing can mean to you, and like what you want to do with it. Because I think everyone who complains about it being so female centric is focused on what has already been done, right? Like if you're trying to compete with hololive and just be like the cute anime girl who streams, hololive will win that fight. So will most other streamers, you know? But if there's like a thing that you're trying to do is like, you're just trying to be yourself, you're trying to build your own community and things like that, that works so much better, because then it's all personal, you know? Like a great example is a friend of mine, Camille, who has been doing absolutely great on Twitch recently, and his whole community is like awesome. And like it only became really awesome once they really got into doing their own thing. And that's what happened to me too, is like I was trying to do the streaming thing, I was trying to compete with everyone on streaming, and then I realized that like, wait, why am I trying to compete on something I'm not that good at? I'm gonna try and do my own thing. And ever since I did that, we've been doing good. Like we've been doing really good. On Reddit, someone straight up says to me that he wasn't even aware that male VTubers existed. Yeah. I just find it funny how with webcam streamers, the bias is more towards the male streamers, but with VTubers, it goes the other way. Would love to see the science behind that. Well, it's because I don't know if the bias goes toward male streamers. It's just, here is, this might be a hot take, but I'm going to say it anyways. Like, there's a reason why Amaranth is one of the biggest female streamers on Twitch. And there's a reason why Ludwig is 10 times as big as her. And there's a reason why XUC is bigger than that. Like, there's the hot take that I have is that looks definitely play a factor into any form of social content. Like, if you have a really nice model, people will click on your stream more often than if you have a really crappy one. That is just a fact. I'm sorry. It is just the truth. But managing to keep people to stay requires your personality. Like, you can't just have an awesome model and then not have anything else, because yeah, you will get the views, you will bring people in, but they will leave just as quickly. You will never have a community. You will have a churning like torrent of viewers that come watch a few minutes and then leave. And that's not sustainable forever, because the downside to having, like, I'm going to call it like the beauty acceleration war, because that's definitely a thing in the VTubing community, as everyone's trying to one up each other's models. There's a limit. There's absolutely a limit of how high you can go with quality on a model. And we're kind of at the top already. Like, this model isn't necessarily that, but like my own live 2D model is really good. My cat model is ridiculous. No. Don't worry about that, Linda. I hate trends probably more than I should, especially those type of trends. I just don't care at all, like literally at all. But anyways, it's just like like I said, your model quality can only get to a certain level before it's kind of an unnoticeable. Like I could pay good money and have an Iron Mouse level of model, but I would not be as successful as Iron Mouse. Sure, I'd probably get more views right now in the short term, but I wouldn't have the following or the personality to back it up. Not right now. And I think we've kind of reached that era with VTubing, is the minimum to entry, like the minimum to entry has been raised a lot. And so you have to have a bare minimum to get in, or you just have to have a really great personality and not even try to get a model until you're ready. A personality to back it up if you're, yeah. But like, it's actually kind of funny because I genuinely believe that having no model is better than having a kind of, I'm going to use the word crummy. I don't mean to rag on anyone who has a less than stellar model, but like, if you just whipped up in the Vroid studio and just painted the worst thing, like you've never painted anything before, you tried to whip out a model and like it just does not look great, like it's probably not going to work well. And you would probably do better if you just didn't have one. Like, and I'm not saying you have to have like an amazing model. Like, I think this kind of model works once I fix the eyes, but like this isn't like that spectacular of a model. It's not bad, just also not like great. It's definitely my own, which I think is why I still like using it. But like, let's actually, I don't have any of them loaded. I'd have to go find them. I could show you some models that I have made, like me, and they are something else, man. I would not stream with those things. Like, that would be terrible. But in that case, it would be better to just not use a model. Like, in fact, I think that's how most people should start, is just don't use your model. Don't use a model to start. Like, get a feel for how you want to act and then go into it. The access to programs to get started is growing fast too. Yeah, that's the other thing, is VTubing used to be special because it was so hard to do. It's not hard to do anymore. It really isn't. It's not that much harder to do than regular streaming. It might be a little bit more time consuming at times because you have to like fix programs, but it's really not that hard to do anymore. Like, as I showed with not this video, but like the video before it, like how to get started immediately, like with VMagic Mirror, you could do all of that in like 10 minutes and you're good to go. I mean, hell, with the website from the last video, you could do it in like 5 minutes and you're good to go. You can just do that stuff. Like, you can do so much stuff. It's hard to talk alone, to be honest. Yeah, it is. It's hard. But that's kind of like what it is to, at least for me, I have to, the way I've kind of figured it out is, and my view is a little bit different because I now do videos mostly. But even when I was doing other stuff, it's just talk about whatever's interesting to you, even if it's not even related to what you're doing. Because if you're, I like to treat of it as like thinking out loud instead of just you know, not saying anything. You just say whatever comes to your mind. And like, especially if your chat isn't moving, which is going to be a reality when you're first starting, you just think out loud. It's what you do, and it works, because pretty soon you'll be like, oh, well, why did I do this thing? It's like, well, if I do this here, like, even if all you're doing is describing what you're doing, that's still better than silence. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say don't think, but you know, you just gotta keep going. And like, but also don't force yourself to talk about things that you just don't want to. Like, it's your stream, you can talk about whatever you want, just pivot. And it's gonna take a while. It's definitely a learned skill. It's gonna take a long time, because especially if you're introverted, it feels like, I know I felt this way, and I still do feel this way to, like, from time to time, especially when I'm with other people on their stream, is like, I feel that my own thoughts aren't worth other people hearing. That's genuinely how you feel at the start. Is like, why does anybody care about anything you have to say? That's, you have to find your own answer to that. But the reality is I think most people find your thoughts interesting, you know? Let's see. Yeah, I feel like if you don't talk, it encourages other people not to talk in chat either. I think that's definitely true. No thoughts, head empty, everything out of their mouth. Well, maybe not quite that. Maybe not quite that, because you might say something you regret. Would you say I'm introverted IRL? It depends. If I'm in an unfamiliar situation, yes. It's not that I'm scared of talking, I just don't like to talk. Well, I guess that's the same thing, really. Is if you met me in real life in a situation that I'm already not comfortable in, yeah, I would be pretty introverted. But like, let's say that you walked up to me at the place where I work and started talking to me, I'd be very extroverted, because I'm already in a comfortable environment. And honestly, that's how I think a lot of people are in general. I think a lot of people describe themselves as introverted when they're really just, they're in an uncomfortable environment as well. Okay, we're gonna leave. We'll watch the video later. Hey, thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it, Space Spader. I will see you around. But that's just something that I think everyone has to deal with, right? Is if you're in a place that you already don't want to be in, or like are feeling comfortable in, it's so much harder to just talk, because you're thinking not only about talking, but about being uncomfortable. You're the first person to say your username right. Well, I'm glad I did. I try and pride myself on saying people's names as they should be said. Peace. But yeah, so just learning to talk to yourself takes time, but it kind of has a weird side effect as well, where like you kind of start valuing your own opinion more, right? Because at least something that happened with me is you come to realize that like if you're talking and people are interacting with you, you kind of gain that little bit of self-confidence, like, well, maybe my own thoughts are worth hearing, you know? Maybe my own thoughts aren't just good for me, maybe other people like hearing it too. And of course, you're always going to get someone who, you know, is a little nasty to you and wants you to shut up, but that kind of also just comes with the territory. But most of the time, people just want to know what you think, you know? Like, you're a human being. We're naturally interested in other people. And often people just want to know like what your view is on things, why you think the way that you do. Sometimes if I try to talk, your mind goes blank. I mean, I've had that happen many times. Even during this stream, I just say I completely forgot what I was talking about and move on. And then I'll come back to it like 5 minutes when I remember. But it's just talking. I don't know. That's how I work. That's how, and again, I'm not saying I am the end all be all, right? But it's just how I work, and it works well for me. So it is what it is, I guess. Need more water. The thought train does leave the station. Yeah. Or also sometimes it goes in reverse. You think it funny that chat appears faster on the screen than the YouTube chat? Oh, that's because of why it's... So how I have chat set up, it's actually routed through a different program that's pulling directly from the YouTube API. So basically the second that anyone types anything, it'll appear. Whereas the YouTube live stream service actually has like a little bit of a delay. It only updates every 30 times a second or something like that, or 15 times. It's a low number. It doesn't update super up. Like I say 15 times per second is not fast, but it's not as fast as it could be. That's why you can see stuff appear on screen before it appears in chat. Is it once every 10 seconds? I forgot what the actual number is. Thank you, Hikaru. No, it's not once every 10 seconds. It's gotta be faster than that. But whatever it is, that's why you see chat first and then it appears. Because I'm not using just YouTube chat. It works good. Yeah. Having no latency on my stream is very, very important to me, because I do want to, I feel like not being able to interact with people as they talk it feels bad. You know, like if I see you ask a question, I want to be able to answer it before you lose interest and before you walk away, you know? I like to answer things as quickly as I can. That's how I am, you know? Let's see. This is why I'm glad I joined the VTuber community. It's very helpful to newcomers and it helps my anxiety. Nice. Yeah, the VTubing community is interesting. I don't know. I am like tangentially part of it. I actually don't really consider myself as really a part of the community because I don't interact with a lot of it. Like I have a lot of friends in it, right? And obviously, I mean, I'm using a virtual avatar. I'm doing stuff with it, you know. But I also don't feel like I'm really a big part of it because honestly, I just don't feel like I fit in with it. I kind of just do my own thing. And yeah, I don't know. I find it difficult when playing the games. It's also skill to learn. Yeah, that's actually one of the reasons why I don't play as many. That's one of the reasons why I didn't play like really intensive games on stream that I had to focus on, because if I have to focus on a game, I'm not really good at splitting attention. I can focus on something super well, but I'm not good at like let's say I was playing Valorant, I would not be paying attention to chat like at all because I couldn't. I just don't possess that multitasking capability. Just not there. So is what it is. Yeah. What was I talking about? Something VTuber community. Oh yeah. Well, I'll answer your question first. What was the last game you played? I actually played Industry of Titan on stream last week when I had a day off. That was a fun game. That it's like a base builder game. But the game I've been playing a lot of recently is Monster Hunter Stories 2. I love that game. It's so good. I have greatly enjoyed playing the hell out of that game. It's so good. I really, really like it. But that actually, you know what? That's a great segue into something else I've been looking at. Do I stream it? No, I don't. I've thought about streaming it on my second channel because that's where all the gaming stuff is going to go in the future. Because game content just doesn't really fit here. Just doesn't. YouTube doesn't like me when I do it, and that's okay. So I don't think I'll ever stream games on this channel again. I'll do it on another channel or I'll do it on Twitch. That's what I'll do. Do you think that a schedule is better? Yes. I think that having a stream schedule is good because people can expect you at that time. Especially if, like, I think it's doubly important for what I do because my streams are more informational based, right? And I like to only go live if I have a reason to go live or something I want to talk about, something I want to show you, something specific I want to do, because I value your guys' time. And so if I'm on time and you kind of know what I'm going to be talking about, that gives you the power to make the decision. Do you want to be here and listen to me ramble about things that you might be interested in? Or do you want to just go watch someone else because this week's stream isn't that interesting to you? That's fine. That's kind of how I view my streams. Is I have a schedule. You kind of know what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to be talking about vtubing shenanigans in some way, shape, or form, whether it's, you know, getting a 3D model working, having a live 2D model come out, you know, all this other stuff. It's just I like to think that I value your guys' time. I will never put stuff out there that I feel isn't valuable to someone in some way. Because I've done that before where I just put stuff out there and you kind of reap what you sow. Is like, if you don't really care about what you're doing, why should anyone else, you know? And that's the concept I try and live my content creation by these days. Is I want to make stuff that I think helps you make better decisions. And I'll be honest, I could be wrong with some of the stuff I say. I have been wrong in the past. I've removed a video or two that upon revisiting, I was like, you know what? Maybe this was a really bad decision, you know, not great advice type of thing. And I don't know, I don't know. I just don't think I'm that entertaining as a person. Do I wink? I can. I actually have pretty good control over my eyes with this model. It's pretty good. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at today. But that does actually bring me into a good segue. We're still going to be doing streams on YouTube for a while. But I will also, big asterisk here, probably be doing more streams on Twitch as well, because there are times where I do want to just stream something for you guys. I think everyone has an attribute that the community. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I try and make my tutorials more, I've been trying to make them more entertainment focused in addition to informational, I'm not really super succeeding at that yet, but that's kind of what I want to try and find. Is I do feel like informational style content is my thing. I'm good at it. I genuinely think that I am better than a lot of people at it. I also think that I have a long way to go to become really great at it, but I do think that that is my strength. I actually streamed on both Twitch and YouTube for like 4 months. Using Restream. I did do that for quite a long time. I was actually also streaming on Facebook, fun fact. My Facebook is kind of dead, but I did stream on there for a while. I enjoy how you use avatars in your videos, adding context to what you're saying. I try and make sure that whatever I'm using in the video is pertinent to what I'm doing, because I think it's important. The reason why I got into tutorials in the first place is because the people who are making them didn't make them the way I wanted to be taught, which is very granular. I want to see everything that you're doing, how you're doing it, why you're doing it, that kind of a thing. And that's why all of my tutorials have so many zoom ins, zoom outs, like brightness, contrast effects. Like, I want you to know exactly what I did to get the result I got, because that's how I want to be taught. Like, once I've been taught once, I know how to do it forever. But I'm kind of a needy learner in that respect of, I need to either have an excellently built tutorial that will teach me how to do it, or I need to watch someone do it and then I get it. That's just kind of how I am. And that's how I try and make my tutorials, is what you see is what I'm using. Just, you know, being completely transparent. This is how everything works. Go for it. But yeah. What was this? Oh yeah, Twitch. I will probably be streaming some gaming stuff on Twitch. I might be trying it on my secondary YouTube channel as well, which is going to be more of the short / highlight content stuff. I will probably try it there first, because I made that channel specifically for that. So we're going to try that first, and then we're going to, if that ends up not being happy with YouTube, we might go back to Twitch for random gaming streams, or just other shenanigans that aren't like, that I don't consider part of this channel's core content, because I've been missing it. Back in the day, I used to stream like 5 times a day. Like, I used to stream 5 times a day, or not a day. Wow. Whoa. Not a day. Hold on. 5 times a week. Whew. Very different meaning there. Holy cow. Can you imagine going live 5 times a day? That sounds like that's awful. That sounds terrible. Oh, jeez. But yeah, I used to go live 5 times a week. I was just a streamer. How do I come up with a topic when the topic ends? I just kind of move on to the next one. It actually wasn't too bad. Streaming 5 times a week, but the reason why I stopped doing it as much is because I found that when I wanted to start making videos, streaming took so much out of me that I had no desire to make videos. Like, none. But now with the approach I have to streaming, because back then I tried to make every stream as good as I possibly could, which is, in fairness, how I think you should do things. And like, I was making super custom thumbnails for every stream. I was fiddling with the descriptions for every stream. I was basically treating every stream as a video in terms of like how much SEO optimization, all this other stuff I would do to it. And they never did very well, because streams just aren't as good on YouTube as videos are. That's just kind of a thing. But I kind of realized back then, and it was scary when I made this decision. I'm like, okay, I need to stop streaming to focus on videos. And I've done that for 3 months, 4 months now, something like that. Something around that amount of time. But I'm finally at the point where I have reached the point with my video content that I've settled into a workflow where I'm like, oh, I could just go live on Twitch for a few hours, talk to chat, you know, but not treat it the same as I used to. Like streaming, it would definitely be the side thing. That's kind of how I treat this, right? Is streaming is no longer my primary focus, so I don't worry about it as much. I very much treat streaming as a side focus to my video content. And now that I kind of view it that way, going live is not a chore. It's not mentally taxing. I'm just doing it because I want to do it because it's fun. Whereas before I treated it as my only way of growing, and that made it like way more stressful. I'm not sure if that really makes sense to everyone in here, like how I'm describing it, but my mentality towards streaming in general has shifted very drastically to the point where I will treat streaming as like the for fun, like we're just gonna have a good time. We're gonna talk about stuff I want to talk about, or if we're on Twitch, we're gonna play whatever game I happen to be playing at the time. And, you know, we'll have some chat integration, chat talking, and that stuff. But like, that also means that I don't have to stream. Which, honestly, if there's one thing that has made me feel as good as I do as a content creator, it's been to focus on videos. And I'm not saying that's the answer for everyone, but for me, that's the answer that really just worked for me. It just did. Because now, like, I still feel the pressure to put out a video every week, which I have been doing. Good job, me. But I also want to. You know? So it's just how it's been working for me. Streams are now only things I do because I want to. And I really feel like people pick up on that, you know? People enjoy your stream when you enjoy your stream. And that's how I feel about streams. That's also why my streams are shorter, actually, too. I no longer go to like 3-hour minimum like I used to. I go until I feel like I have said everything I wanted to say, or until I feel like I've had a good enough time with chat, and then I stop. And that simple change right there, like not worrying about stream length, that's another thing that has been amazing. Like, I just go until I feel like I've exhausted my content for the day, and we end on a high note and everything's good. Everything's just good. And it makes me like streaming again. It makes me want to stream, because giving myself the freedom to be like, no, I am done today, and that's fine, is so mentally freeing. It's okay to stop for the day. Like, that's okay. Everyone should feel like if you're just not feeling it on stream, you can stop. It's okay. I give you that permission. You know? So I don't know. That's something that's popped through my head with streaming, because I've actually noticed that YouTube does not really like streamers that also do videos. If all you do is stream, then you're fine. But at least for me, I've noticed that generally YouTube doesn't really like when I stream. Just saying. My biggest source of lost subscribers is whenever I push go live. Go figure, right? It's like, hey, I see you're streaming there, but you're a video channel. You're not allowed to stream. It's like, oh, okay. And you know, it is what it is. That's one of the only reasons why I've looked at, like, you know what, maybe my stream should go back to Twitch. Yeah, it's just a kind of a dichotomy. And that's why I try and keep like I said, this stream isn't really going anywhere. the Saturday stream, because I view the Saturday stream as an extension of the rest of my videos. And the reason why I was losing subscribers whenever I would go live is because I didn't always have this theme, right? Like I said, I view my Saturday streams as an extension of my videos. It's supposed to be where I talk about more VTuber stuff. I ask questions if people have them, or I answer questions if people have them. And we kind of discuss the normal type of content I usually make. But when I would throw in an occasional gaming stream in there, that's when everyone's like, hey, what are you doing? You're not allowed to do that. Go do that somewhere else. That doesn't belong on this channel. It's like, okay, well, you're probably right. So that's why I have a second channel and Twitch. I haven't decided which one I kind of want to focus on as like my side project. Currently it's the side YouTube channel, but well, we'll see. We'll see. I do genuinely enjoy going live ever since I've made the changes that I have. So these aren't going anywhere. The Saturday streams will continue for as long as I'm actually in town. I know there'll be a break. Actually, there might not even need to be a break. I could definitely do this on vacation. Just my once a week Saturday stream. I know sometime this year I'm going down to see my grandma for like a week or two. That's the other great thing about videos, is you can make them ahead of time and publish them later. It's great. You can just be like, well, I'm on vacation, but the videos continue. It's just good. So, but speaking of all that, take us with you on vacation. Who knows? Maybe that'd be an interesting thing to demo to my family, what I do while streaming on vacation. That'd be funny. I mean, they already know I do this, so it's not like it's a big shock to them, even though they don't necessarily agree with how much money I've spent on this. Anyways. Oh gosh, I wish VTubing wasn't as expensive as it is to do like the really cool stuff. I do want to try and do a 3D model thing next week. I was going to do it this week, but I didn't charge my trackers ahead of time, so this is as close as we're going to get, unfortunately. But I do have my full 3D setup ready. And I don't know if I'll have time to get the 3D environment all good to go, but I hope I will. I might be able to. Who knows? We'll see. It'd be cool. But we'll have something else, probably 3D related next week as well. Just because I'm still going to do content for Live 2D, obviously, because everyone loves it. But 3D has always been kind of my passion, just because there's so much more life that I feel. It's just 3D has so much potential, and I haven't been able to unlock it yet. I feel like I'm on the cusp of doing a lot of really cool things, but I haven't quite figured out any of them. And I really want 3D to become like, I want to make my 3D stuff as good as my 2D stuff. That's what I want. Because I think they both have their uses. But 3D is where my heart is. That's where I really love everything that has to do with VR, VTubing, all that stuff. 3D is definitely, if I had just unlimited money. I wonder if Unreal Engine supports OBS stream. It does. There's a lot of other ways that you can, I mean, Unity supports it, Unreal supports it. There's actually a video by a VTuber named Fofamit who recently did a video about how to make a 3D environment in Unreal Engine. So that's kind of cool. I consider doing that. But that's just kind of 3D is just where my passion is. I just love it so much. I am self-taught on everything. Yes, I've watched a lot of tutorials, like a lot of tutorials, but I am self-taught on everything. So everything, no, I didn't do any of the artwork for models. No, none of that. That was all paid for. That's done by artists. But like all the tech stuff, that's everything I have learned. So all of this stuff is stuff that I learned how to do. I learned how to do this facial tracking stuff. That is me. I used programs to help do it, but like I learned how to do this. And it was a nightmare. But it's like, you can do it, you can learn it. And what's crazy is I didn't realize just how much of a difference this facial tracking makes to this model. Like, this isn't even super high quality like iPhone tracking, but it's kind of amazing what kind of a difference this makes. 'Cause this model isn't particularly awesome. It's really not. But it is, like, it looks good right now. Because of how the face moves, because of how everything else moves. If I was in full 3D, I would look pretty realistic. Like, that's cool. And that's why I love 3D. Because with the difference between 3D and 2D for me is I will never figure out how to do 2D because I don't have the artistic skills to do that. But with 3D, I don't need those skills. I can focus on the technical skills of like, I can make someone draw the pretty picture, or in this case, the model. And then I can learn how to do all the other stuff because I don't need to be an artist to do that. I just need to be, I need to be willing to learn how to do the rigging, how to learn all the programs. And I'm willing to do that stuff. Obviously, because, you know, I have this model, but I'm willing to learn the programs. I just don't have the artistic skill to make the models, which is why I am looking at getting my live 2D model made into 3D. Hopefully. That's going to be like a 1,000 subscriber special thing, maybe. Hopefully. I don't know. I don't know when that's coming, but it's, I really want it. I really want it. Because like I said, 3D is my jam. 3D is where I want to be. So that's my goal. 2D stuff will definitely still be the focus for a long time, just because 2D is more popular than 3D. But I think once 3D goes through the same revolution that live 2D has, we might see more of it. Once it's easier for people to VTube as a 3D avatar, then we'll see more of it. Because even right now, sorry, my nose is a little clogged. Even right now, what I'm doing is I'm using my iPhone, which is using a program called Wait.io, which is then feeding into a different program called VCFace, which I had to rig using Blender and Unity. So there's already, that's 4 programs right there, plus 5 if you count OBS. It's like, just to get all of this stuff to work required 5 separate programs. If I could just load a model into a program and push stream, you know, like, that's several steps out of the equation. And yeah, you're right, Hikaru. 3D is more expensive and requires more computing. Well, so here's the funny thing is 3D is actually the cheapest to get into, but it's got the lowest floor, but the highest ceiling, because you can just go on to Vroid Hub right now, download a model. You can download VCFace and slap it in there and you're good to go. And that's all free. You could spend literally 0. But the problem is that there's a, I did this illustration on stream once, but basically 3D is cheap to get into, but the middle ground is awful. It's terrible. Like, you can have a really cheap looking avatar that does nothing, or you can have a super high end avatar that looks awesome and does everything, but there's no middle ground, especially as far as price is concerned. And that's where live 2D fits, is because a cheap live 2D model looks terrible. A medium grade live 2D model still looks good and works very well. And a high grade model looks awesome and works amazing. And that's why live 2D is so popular, is because it has something at all three price points. But 3D has nothing in the middle. It has nothing past, you know, Babby's first model or 3D enthusiast supermodel. You know, there's no middle ground. And that's why 3D doesn't work right now. There's nothing that you can spend a modest amount of money on to make look really amazing, unless you are already really good at art and can make the model yourself. Yeah, I think 3D will go through a boom. I don't think we're quite there yet, but we're getting there. And I think that just 3D models in general are just, I just love them. I just love them so much. Because it makes it feel more alive, you know? Like, I love my kitten model, I love my other model, but even just this 3D model, like, you really get to see like what I'm acting like, you know? This is me. You get to see all my little head movements, you get to see me being crazy, all that just shenanigans. It's me. You are seeing me. Sorry, my nose is really clogged, but that's just how I feel, you know? But we'll see what kind of technology comes out. I feel like within the next year, we're going to have some really cool stuff come out. That's what I genuinely feel. So I think it's going to be good. I definitely think it's going to be good. Oh, this song. Oh, this brings me back. Sorry. This song used to be my old intro song, like months ago. Hey, what's up? How you doing, Suck? Interesting name. But my throat is starting to get a little sore. I have some sinus thing going on. I have for like a week and a half, but it's just not really going away. So it is what it is, I guess. Plus, I feel like we've had a really good discussion today. I do. I think we've had a good discussion. So we're actually going to go ahead and wind down for the day. Yeah, I don't know, I'm feeling good stream. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I will be watching the premiere tonight. I will not miss that because that's gonna be fun. I thought about live streaming that, but then I was like, yeah, nah, I'm just gonna watch it. It's gonna be good. I'd rather people just go watch the actual premiere and support them, you know? That kind of a thing. But it's gonna be good. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's wind down for the day. And let me just check something before I leave. Okay, we're good. That's funny. Somebody so you know that how I was talking about the YouTube doesn't like streamers? So someone unsubscribed during a live stream. See, it just happens. It's funny. So we'll see. But it was a lot of fun. Yeah. So thanks everyone for dropping by. We had a lot of fun stuff that we talked about. Mostly Nijisanji, funnily enough. But I hope you have a good afternoon, morning, or evening, wherever in the world you are. And I will see you all next time. Have a good day, everybody.